The daughter of the man who saved the Flying Scotsman from the scrapyard has waved off the world-famous locomotive on its latest adventure. For the next 3 weeks, it will pull passengers along the scenic Swanage Railway. Our correspondent John Maguire joined hundreds of steam enthusiasts in Dorset this morning.
Even at the grand old age of 96, the Flying Scotsman still draws a crowd.
This week, all my pupils know now that the Flying Scotsman is the most famous loco in Britain.
He used to build good stuff in Doncaster.
Just because it's so special, isn't it? It's just so special. It's Pete's birthday today, so it's his special treat for his birthday.
I lived on the East Coast and saw the Flying Scotsman regularly coming down through Essendine. We're close to where it broke the world record.
The Flying Scotsman is now owned by the National Railway Museum in York and spends the summer travelling the country, kept running by a team of dedicated engineers.
It's like having a 150-ton toddler. You know, they have moods, and you just have to deal with them. You know, that's part and parcel of working with a steam locomotive. They are machines, but they have a personality. So.
Temperamental the Flying Scotsman may be, and although these days the speed limit for steam is 75 miles per hour, in her heyday she travelled between London and Scotland at more than 100. And today she's reunited with Car 14, the Devon Belle, an observation carriage that she hasn't towed since 1972.
Wave it hard.
And waving the two off at Swanage Railway was the daughter of Alan Pegler, the man who saved the famous engine from the scrapyard in 1963. She has fond memories of the locomotive travelling across America to promote British businesses.
I haven't seen this carriage since we were in the States, and I crossed North America and down to San Francisco, across the Rocky Mountains in this carriage, looking at the beautiful scenery, Feather Canyon, the wonderful Rockies. So I have very, very many happy memories travelling in this.
The Concorde of the steam age, and today as iconic and popular as ever. John Maguire, BBC News, Dorset.
It is a wonderful sight, the Flying Scotsman steaming through the Dorset countryside. It's on its way to Swanage, its first visit since 1994. The first passenger service of the day was waved off by the daughter of the man who saved the engine from the scrapyard. Alan Pegler paid £3,000 for the Flying Scotsman in 1963, when Penny Pegler was 9 years old.
He went on to explain that he had bought this engine because she was going to be scrapped, and it was the only one left of her class, the A3s, and it just had to be saved. So he bought the engine, he explained he was going to have her painted apple green, and we were going to have many adventures.
Penny's enjoying the luxury of the Pullman observation carriage. But back in the cheap seats, the Webb family, including 3-year-old Albert, are having just as much fun.
He's been excited about it for the last month, so yeah, he likes to watch documentaries on it. It's on the television, so yeah, he's quite excited about it.
All along the line between Swanage and Norden, crowds have gathered to wave, with many more queuing for their turn to ride the first steam locomotive to haul a train at 100 miles per hour, and that was in 1934.
I used to see it as a kid in London when I lived in Potters Bar. I used to go through quite regularly, so it's lovely to see it again.
Does it look the same?
Yes, it does, yes. Yes, it's great.
It's a special day today because it's Terry's 75th birthday, and it's his birthday present to come on the Scotsman, which is what was his big dream, really, on his birthday, to come on the Scotsman, so we're thrilled to bits.
And events like this are not just good for business on the railway.
It brings people in from far away, steam weekends, diesel weekends. They're all so well supported, and they mean so much to the town and also the whole of Purbeck area.
And it's all thanks to Penny's dad that we can still enjoy sights like this today.
It's
It's a working museum, the Flying Scotsman, and they want it open to the public as much as possible. So if it's on a branch line for 20 days, and it's operational for 5 days, and have a static display for 15 days, that means lots of people can come and see it. And that's so important to the National Rail Museum and also to us. For a branch line like Swanage Railway, to attract the Flying Scotsman here, because it's such an iconic engine. It brings the crowds in, and with crowds, people buy tickets. For Heritage Railway, like Swanage Railway, relies on huge amount of revenue. To run locomotives, steam locomotives, is so expensive, so we need that revenue, especially in the winter time. And also for the volunteers, it's a huge boost, it's a huge morale boost. It brings us all together, we work hard, and we put on a huge event like this, which has its logistical problems sometimes, but also a lot of planning goes into it. And it's taken a lot of effort from a lot of volunteers and a lot of staff to actually put this show on the road. I mean, there were over 300 people on the platform at Wareham as it came onto our branch line at Walgate Junction. There was a lot of people, and a lot of people here in Swanage. So it's created a huge atmosphere and a huge excitement. Well, I think it's so iconic, in my opinion, the People's Engine, and it has a magic of its own. And it was the first locomotive to do 100 miles an hour on the main line, and it was the first locomotive to go non-stop. This is probably why it has an aura to a degree, from King's Cross to Edinburgh. I mean, that was unheard of. The engine's doing 70 miles an hour, it doesn't stop, but they could change crews because there's a corridor in the tender. It's on the display for 15 days, and it's a nice photo opportunity for you and the family. You can gain access to the footplate, walk through the corridor in the tender onto car 14, so it's being displayed with car 14. And you can spend an hour there looking at it. It's been a fantastic day out. And it's been a fantastic event for us, totally.